What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, this is a really crazy. I should take that back. I should really take that back. This has been an incredible generation to be a part of. What's going on with you, Dragonheart Yobi? You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? I got my coffee right here. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to get what I had to say out the way. So after this, I'm going to the gym. But gotta stay consistent on that, brother. But I appreciate it, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I couldn't resist. I wanted to talk about it last night, but I was out and about and I didn't want to do it too late, like 11, 12 o'clock. So I just was like, all right, well, forget it. Let me just go ahead and let me just do it in the morning. So what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do appreciate it. Yeah, share this out. Let people know that we're live early in the morning, man. We're going to be talking about this. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Looking at people in the chat, man. Listen, as I was saying, this is an extraordinary generation. I mean, we're 3 years in. Well, almost 3 years in. November will be officially like 3 years in, I believe, for the generation. I mean, yeah, hey man, pour one out for my boy, man. Listen, I got a little douce left for my man Jimbo on GRG. So you know what I'm saying? You know, and no, I will not be partaking fully on that because listen, we ain't trying to have another how should I put it? Unfiltered K Mega at the end of a show. So anyway, but we'll pour one out for Jimbo, for real. But anyway, this has just been an extraordinary generation. Just everything that's been happening, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Like, I mean, there's just been so many things going on already. It kind of goes into what I was talking about last generation, talking about how things are going to change and look different. Now, I didn't know the magnitude of how crazy things was going to be, but I knew that just because of the direction of where gaming was going. Like I've always say, I make predictions on things. I mean, there's sometimes I get some insider information, stuff like that, but for the most part, I just aware of what the surroundings is looking like, and just for me, you know, being alive and working in business. You know what I'm saying? And then also for what my profession was before I got hurt, was just more of a situation of just looking at how people operated, how these companies operated, things like that. And it's just no different, even in the video game business. It's all kind of the same. Businesses have to work, have to sustain themselves, have to have better tech. Competition is heavy, all this type of stuff. And so when we were talking about this type of stuff going forward, back in 2016, 2017, you know, there was PlayStation gamers that would always try to debunk some of the things that I would say and others would say about the future of Xbox, the future of PlayStation, the future of Nintendo, so forth and so forth. I said this last gen for the people who's been around, that's been paying attention to me. You know, and by all means, thank you guys for sticking around, listening to me for all these years. But I said this. I said, look, there's something wrong with what's going on with the turnover at Sony. There's something. It's going to catch up with them eventually. It happened with Microsoft Xbox. It's going to happen with PlayStation, regardless of how that train moves with the console sales and things like that. But you don't have the turnover that you have and not have some kind of repercussions from it. It's just the reality of it. It's not anything. It's just the way that it works. Because when you have somebody's ideas and then they leave or they get fired, demoted, whatever the case may be, When somebody else comes to step in, they're putting their ideas, their motive, and that takes time. And then it could work or it might not. Now, for me saying that, there will be detractors. The stands will always detract any and everything. That is just what they do. They do not, the stands have no regard for sense, logic, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but just always defending Sony, always defending PlayStation, because that is just what their bread and butter is when it comes to the content creators. And then just for the PlayStation stands out there that make, you know, that make soccer counts, to review bomb stuff, to just come in to say the most vile, disgusting things to people just because of you're saying something about PlayStation that they don't like. Look, they're meaningless. They're bottom feeders. They're sewer dwellers. That's all they are. Because if you got to be a coward to make if you're a coward and have to make soccer counts in order to have people seem like you are making sense when you're not, or if you're just saying the ridiculous, stupidest things to try to piss people off instead of having a conversation. Like, because remember, most of us is all adults, if not everybody's all adults. I have not one person I've had a conversation with on social media has been a kid. It's been always an adult. And some people get so out of pocket with this that they don't know how to act. But regardless, my point of this is that there's going to be the detractors. This whole situation with Jim Ryan goes back to what I was saying. This turnover at Sony it's going to keep going until they find the right person that Sony is looking for, because obviously Jim Ryan wasn't it, Sean Layton wasn't it, and Yoshida wasn't it. Think about that for a second. Just think about this for a second. Think about this for a hot second. In less than 10 years, Sony has already gone through 3 CEOs at PlayStation. 3. They demoted one, which was Yoshida. Said the same thing about, like, well, you know, getting burnt out. They said the same thing about Sean Layton. Well, it was burnt out. He just didn't want to he didn't want to, you know, he was tired of doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He was tired of kicking Xbox's teeth in. Gotcha. Now we go to Jim Ryan. And it's, you know, and listen, the man's been in the game for 30 years. I think Yoshida's been in the game for that long, longer, if not longer. Sean Layton, I do not know how long he's been. I know he's been in gaming long, but I don't know how long he was working for PlayStation. That I don't know. Please in the chat, let me know. But there's two things to this, right? That's pretty wild. One is that, and this is why this thing doesn't fly with me when people say, well, he's retiring. He's been in the game for 30 years. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? After so long, you want to be done with it. But why would you want to be done before the biggest title for PlayStation this generation is going to release? Think about that. I mean, what we do here, well, I say we, it's just me, but but what I do here on this channel is try to bring up points to people to counteract if they don't think what I'm saying is correct, or just give you something to think about. Just give you a nugget to think about, just to throw that little bit of that out there. You never hear me say, I hate PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation is going to die or anything like that. You never hear me say anything like that. You never hear me say that I will never play a PlayStation game or anything like that. But I keep it real about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same situation with Xbox. If Xbox do something stupid, I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to talk about it. But this is my thing, where if you look at this, right, you should not want to be out when this is when everybody's telling us that next year is when PlayStation is going to start rolling. And it's the start of you bringing out your biggest IP so far this generation with Spider-Man. But you want out now? that doesn't make any sense to me. Let me go ahead and read what my boy Yobi said right here. He said, "Peace, love, life. We doing it live." Oh, and that Phantom Liberty, it's crazy, bro. I can't wait. I listen. You know what I'm saying? I've been so caught up in the Starfield because listen, I'm catching up because when you guys was playing it, I was on vacation, and so I'm just now getting the getting the full grasp of everything. And so now I'm catching myself like I was going to get ready to do Fight Night, and then I said I was going to stream Mortal Kombat Monday. Didn't do none of the things. Was on Starfield. It was nuts. I'm enjoying the game a lot. Like it is. I like I said before. I'm not one of these people that praises all of Bethesda games because I don't play all of Bethesda games. But this is my first time getting into one of their to their because they say Skyrim. I can never get into Skyrim. I bought it like 4 times, couldn't get into it. But regardless, Starfield has got me hooked, and so I'm trying to because I still got to get deep into Mortal Kombat. Haven't really even got started in that. There's still Street Fighter. Poor Street Fighter. Street Fighter's getting a little love, but it ain't got the love that I was hoping that it was going to get. You know what I'm saying? Then there's Naruto that's coming out here next month. That must be got. Then I seen that Namco's dropping another game on Xbox, another fighter, a brawler. I mean, not a brawler, but an arena fighter. I'm copping. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you bring these fighters, you bring these certain games, and then also yesterday, I bought the Dragon Quest game. Now I know it's getting ripped apart. It's getting ripped to shreds in reviews. But I'm going to see if it's supposed to be working today. So we'll see if we'll see if it works. Because then I look and I seen that when I was trying to play it last night, but it comes out today, that it said that it's dropping on the 12th. Well, that's not no. I'll get my money back. And then I'll just go ahead and put that money onto Naruto because, look, I want to play this game now. I said it was going to be it was going to be up on the 28th. So anyway, I'll find that out after I get off here and then I get ready to go to the gym. But regardless, I'm rambling. Sorry, guys. But no, I picked up Phantom Liberty. You know what I'm saying? I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? I got the PC version of it because I'm telling you that psycho mode, that changes your life. That changes your life. I had to do it. I know that for my Xbox brethren, that makes it seem like I'm becoming a PC Master Race guy, but I did not spend the money and take 2 days to build this PC to not take advantage of the advantages. But I did pick up Phantom Liberty, but I just picked it up for the PC. I picked it up on GOG. But anyway, my cross saves should work. The cross saves should work. And if you don't know about it, I should drop a video to show if anybody's having problems with it because it's supposed to do a cross-gen save on everything. So anyway, but I did pick that up. But I did pick up that Dragon Quest game. So see about that. But man, like it's just so much out there. And really what's crazy is that Starfield has got the hooks in me like that. It's just nuts. But back to my point. What's going on with you, child of God? What's happening with you? Yeah, man. Starfield is hitting, bro. How am I a fraud, bro? How am I a fraud, man? Don't call me a fraud. Oh, damn, I'm losing it anyway. But no, but this is going. But again, let me get back to my point. But yeah, 3 CEOs in less than 10 years. That's a lot of turnover. On top of the fact that you had people like Andrew House, Adam Boyes, and others leave. Like Andrew, I don't think people really understand how important Andrew House's role was at PlayStation. Like I think Andrew House's skills were incredibly unmatched. Like to the point to where I don't think anybody at Xbox really could see what Andrew House was a beast. Like you remember I always say that Jack Tretton is the GOAT on PlayStation, right? Even though he wasn't there that long. But I know that like there was some bad stuff that happened with Jack Tretton. So like during that time, like there was but his presentation, he was likable. He did a lot of things behind the scenes to make PlayStation to get PlayStation to where it was. And then Yoshida took over, and Yoshida did a great job with PlayStation, no doubt about it. But Andrew House and that squad, that they had a killer squad. That just, you know what I'm saying, their knowledge, their skills. But when Andrew House left, that's when you started to see the damn crack a little bit, you know. And when you got people like that, right? And you leave, it's going to be hard to replace them. Even though I'm not saying that the people that's not at PlayStation is not talented, but I mean, just looking, you see of how like the advertising, how PlayStation during the PlayStation 4, they were just like, damn, they were everywhere. They dominated, and I mean dominated. Like they'll try to tell you that the PlayStation 5 is dominating. PlayStation 5 is not doing anything what the PlayStation 4 was doing. It's still selling consoles, but the PlayStation it will sell itself because it's PlayStation is caught up into lore. Like it's in a situation where like it's like Nintendo. You got Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. People will still talk about Nintendo heavily, but people talk about PlayStation just as much as they talk about Nintendo. It's solidified into even people who aren't gamers, they know what a PlayStation and what a Nintendo is. You'll hear some people talk about Xbox, but more so when you talk about people who don't game, they know what PlayStation is. They know what a Nintendo is. You know, and that to me is what, but see, that's the one thing that was crazy too. I've had a conversation about this before. Now, those people that don't know about games or don't care about gaming or anything like that, they'll talk about Halo. They know what Halo is, but not so much about Xbox because Xbox's identity, the 360 was at that peak where it had his identity right. But PlayStation, they put it so much in your face going back to when they first launched. Their advertising was unmatched. I would say that Xbox came with some, Sega came with some hot stuff. Nintendo came with a few bangers when it came to like, you know, commercial content, but PlayStation just knew how to advertise. And they don't seem like to be on that same level like they used to be. What's going on with you, Stanley? What's happening? Oh, Miss K, what's happening with you this morning? You say Peter Moore was a goat. Peter Moore was amazing. Like, but that's what I'm saying. He said Andrew House sounded like the guy who sounded like he sucked up all the helium. I mean, tons of helium, right? Yeah, he he was yeah, no, he was like a soft talking guy, but the man knew his business. Andrew House was a G. There was no question about it. He was the man. And you know, and that was to me is when PlayStation was at its strongest, especially when they come back with PlayStation 4, the advertising, the way that they mixed it together. Now I don't know if that was Adam Boyes that helped make that little thing with Yoshida, or was that Andrew House? Was that, I don't know who was that did it to where they during back in 2013 at the Sony presentation when they were announcing the PlayStation 4, and then they did the whole here's the game thing and they passed it over. Bruh, that shit was genius. Like that was just incredible stuff, right? But that stuff never. But we didn't get any of that type of cool vibe. Even with Yoshida, you had cool moments. Like you knew Yoshida was a gamer, right? Now he was an indie. Like he enjoys indies, right? So that was his passion. But even Yoshida had his moments in at PlayStation that looked that was cool. And even though like okay, Jim Ryan has what was Jim Ryan's moments? Jim Ryan didn't have those type of moments, right? Sean Layton, I remember when he was getting made fun of for wearing the shirts, looking like Phil Spencer, coming out there with like PlayStation shirts and kind of trying to do the things that Phil was doing. Um, but Sean Layton was a dog, man. He was a true dog. He knew what the vision of PlayStation was, right? And so my question is about with Jim Ryan. When I'm looking at this, because this is a reason why I have this here with Ryan McCaffrey, is that is it Jim Ryan who did all this amazing stuff, or was it his predecessors that kept it afloat? Again, remember what I was originally saying, even though I did kind of jump back and forth. Sorry about that. But remember what I was saying. When you have a lot of turnover, things change and things can fall out rapidly, right? And the detractors, they will keep trying to tell you, well, PlayStation is selling over 40 million consoles. That's fine, right? But it's just like what I've told people years ago. Software is king. Console sales, they do mean something, but when it comes down to it with these consoles, it's the software now. And that was back then in 2016, 2017, when I was having these crazy arguments with PlayStation stands about how how sales for these games is the lifeblood for the corporation. They told me no. They told me no. They said no, it's the hardware. Now, of course, as they usually do, they come around to see it my way, but they kind of pretend like they never said anything opposite of what they're saying now. It is what it is, right? But let's read what Ryan McCaffrey said here, right? Say what you will about Jim Ryan, like how we believe in generations was total BS and that he raised prices on literally everything. But from a business perspective, his tenure at PlayStation can't be considered anything but a rousing success. Under his watch, PlayStation dominated. Listen, I like Ryan McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? I've listened to the man for years. I have questioned some of his, I mean, it's no different than when people may question me or whatever on some of the things that I say. But I do question sometimes when Ryan says things, and I kind of look like, what? So I mean, look, he was given a proper sound off of the man. He's had personal conversations with him. He wants to be decent to the man, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I mean, this is a business. At the end of the day, he's being a professional. But my question is, when he says that from a business perspective, his tenure at PlayStation can't be considered anything but a rousing success. No. I have to disagree with that. I would say, and see, this is the thing right here. This is where I'm going to put this nugget in your head, guys. Unlike Don Matrick, which is a businessman, his advertising, the way that the Xbox 360 moved was real slick, real smooth, right? But his predecessor, Phil Spencer, had a lot of cleaning up to do. A lot of cleaning up to do. Now, that's not to say that Don Matrick didn't do a lot of good for Xbox. That's not what I'm saying at all, because he did. But his previous boss, which I believe was Peter Moore, right? And if I'm wrong, let me know. But what do you say? I see Real Island Gaming says, Kay, did you see this? Seems things are not that good with Sony affiliate studios. See, no, I don't know. I'm not seeing what you posted, but regardless. But yeah, no, I got something else to go to as well. But anyway, but this is going next to here. So when you look at who was the predecessor before Don Matrick at Xbox, things was really rolling, right? Which I believe that was Peter Moore. I could be wrong, but I think it was Peter Moore. Don Matrick did his work. He was a businessman. He knew how to market. He was great at marketing. There's no question about that. Xbox was everywhere. Like you've seen it in the Transformers movie. When the first Transformers movie came out, you've seen the Transformer turn into Xbox turn into a Transformer. All that, like commercials. When you see, and this is when you know that you're kicking ass and getting a part of that market share, because like you'll look at some of these like commercials that come out there, and when these people are holding the controllers for something else, like for internet service or whatever, if it's a PlayStation controller or if it's a Xbox controller or whatever. And a lot of those commercials and ads had a lot of Xbox controllers and stuff like that. The 360 was just crazy, right? After Don Matrick left, though, Xbox was in a tailspin. And we know the story. We know the story about Xbox, right? and Phil Spencer come along. He had a lot of shit to clean up, a lot. So when I'm talking about with Jim Ryan, is it that he was a success? Was his tenure to be considered a success, or was he living off of the coattails of Sean Layden and Yoshida before him? Because all I see here through Jim Ryan's tenure, and again, not to say that the man didn't do some good. I mean, look, PlayStation still got sold. Um, they had to they had to get through the pandemic situation, which they did. The chip shortage, they got through it. It's not like the man Jim Ryan didn't do good at certain things, but to say a rousing success when PlayStation software numbers are down, like severely down, going to a point to where now that the direction of PlayStation, what people look and see as PlayStation supposed to be, now they're pivoting and going this way after and this is not especially with the gas games, which they were making fun. If you remember what like Yoshida and Sean Layden was like, nobody cares about those type of games. Single player experiences is what PlayStation will offer. First party single player games. Now all of a sudden you got your fan base pivoting to games as a service. Then of course, like what Ryan said about, saying we believe in generations, and then like in a year, you pivot and talk about, well, no, the PlayStation 4 still has to be relevant. Well, because we understand about the pandemic and the chip shortage and all that. We get all that. And then of also the all the people that got got the consoles, and that most of those PlayStation 5s out there are sitting in people's garages or warehouses or back of their trucks, whatever the case may be, right? So listen, I think that like I said, not saying that Jim Ryan didn't do some good stuff, right? But everything that we've seen with PlayStation going in from when the console first dropped, which was weird how that even came about, because you had Mark Cerny coming out here talking about the speed of the console more so than what else that the console could do. Then you waited till the last minute to actually present the console, show people what it looks like, let people know when the date of this console was coming out. It was just so weird and baffling, right? No, Fahim. No, 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 no. No, you know I'm telling the truth, brother. And then you get to a point to where now studios is closed, even though there were studios that closed under Yoshida and Sean Layden. Watch. I mean, those things happen, right? But we're looking at a franchise like Final Fantasy, right? This is a Final Fantasy is not going to go away, right? But this is a make or break for Final Fantasy. Um, I'm really intrigued to see about what Final Fantasy Rebirth is going to do. I'm going to get it for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Final Fantasy, but the reality is this is make or break for them in a lot of ways. And when I say make or break, I'm thinking about like in the sense of like these marketing deals that Sony does, things like that. I think that they'll get away from it. They'll break away from Final Fantasy like the plague if this game does not sell the same amount as Remake. They will not. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Just think about what I'm saying for a second, right? Every Final Fantasy that's been exclusive on PlayStation, or any game that's tied into whatever, to the Square Enix universe, into that, like let's talk about Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they have not still yet, after people always brag about these damn 40 plus million PlayStations out there, oh my God, right? They're just dominant. No Final Fantasy has still outsold since they did this exclusive shit. Have outsold Final Fantasy 15. None of them. Matter of fact, if you combine all three, you still haven't outsold Final Fantasy 15. That says a lot. So Rebirth is just like what I was saying to I think King Thrash came in here when I did my thoughts last week, and he was over there yapping his jaws, and I was like, look, you better get them PlayStation stands out there to start buying these games. Especially like Spider-Man, it better be up there. Like when you see Starfield that's over here showing that they have over 10 million people playing it, right? And then when I showed the numbers on Crossover Monday of where that game is sold on Steam, and we're talking about that game is also on Game Pass, Spider-Man has to do at least 7 or 8 right off the bat. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't you agree? Spider-Man has to really come out there and push it. Now I'm saying Spider-Man's gonna sell. There's no question about that. Spider-Man is due for a 20 million spot. But we're talking about in those 14 days. Are people going to go ahead and get it? Because remember, COD is right around the corner. And people are more loyal to COD than they are to Spider-Man. That is a fact. People are going to buy their COD. People are going to buy their NBA 2K. People are going to buy their Maddens. And people are going to buy their FIFAs. That's a given. That is a given. You're not going to stop that train no matter how so many people hate those type of games. They're not going anywhere. So, with that being said, all this stuff under Jim Ryan's tenure has seemed to fall off. Not only thing that's been good is that he's got he hit record revenue, but then yet the profit is not that great. I mean, it's great, but it's not. Shouldn't match what the revenue is. It should match it should be better than what the revenue is, right? But it's not. But that's fine, whatever, right? When you're not selling your IPs at the level like you were on the PlayStation 4, that's not a rousing success. That means that there's trouble. That means that there's something that's not resonating with the PlayStation fan base for them to not want to get your games like that. Case in point, I already know one of the big reasons because of the $70 price tag. It's like right here, you can't say, which he did. He said, you know what I'm saying, you raised, the we believe in generations, the BS, that which was told BS, and literally raising the price on everything, right? And then having your fan base, having the PlayStation content creators come out here and disrespect and talk so bad about games as a service, then all of a sudden you have your own game as a service. You contradict damn near everything that the PlayStation what the PlayStation community was supposedly standing for, right? And then all of a sudden you do about face and make all of those people look like jackasses, make them look like liars and fools. But again, like I said, the detractors, they will just put their head in the sand and they'll just agree to any damn thing. That's what they do. That's what they do. It is the most egregious. Say what you will about Xbox gamers, right? Like, oh, Xbox Civil War, Xbox bot against bot. You know what that means? Because the passion is real. If they feel that Xbox is doing, like, again, I don't give a damn about the 30, 60 frames per second thing because it's not going away. I think people now can understand what I've been saying. It's not going away. Stop trying to force it. When the next console comes, hopefully we don't have to worry about that. But we're going to continue to see 30 frames per second. But it was just, but Xbox gamers, challenging Xbox gamers about, why would you want to deal with this? Why would you want to deal with that? And then just the case goes on and on. You know what that is? That is people that are speaking freely and letting them know their displeasure with whatever Xbox is doing, and people who feel that, look, you're going overboard. You don't get that at PlayStation. Because anybody that comes out too hard on PlayStation, they ass get taken to the shed, man. They get a talking to. Or they don't get dealt with no more. That's what they do there. It's like a cult for most of them. It is. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. You can't say anything negative about Sony. You can't sit there and talk about anything that they're doing other than them talking about sales. And this is the reason why right here, that's why Sony has gone through 3 different CEOs in less than 10 years. The turnover is crazy. There's people that's left PlayStation staff, and now they've gone to Xbox. Studios closing down. Games. This is a horrible year for PlayStation. The only thing that's going to save this year is Spider-Man. The only thing. Why we can't keep that shit a buck? Why we can't keep it 100 about it? Why do people get mad when I sit there and I tell the truth? Yeah, yeah, Snooky. You know what I'm saying? Snooky. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all they need. They got Madden 24 and NBA 2K. That's all they need. That's all they need, man. That's all they need. But they're gonna get that card too. They're gonna get that card. They're gonna get that card. They may not get that card day one, but they'll get that Call of Duty. Those are staples. But Final Fantasy Rebirth is on watch. I'm watching it. Like, I'm gonna support it, but it's on watch. Because are we at a point now to where there's Final Fantasy fatigue? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. After having such a dry ass year for PlayStation, you would think that game is going to sell, and it should sell like gangbusters, because you got Spider-Man, then you're going to have another big title coming out in I think it's coming out in January or sometime in the beginning of the year, and boom, that's plenty gap. There's plenty of gap. People are going to, but then also look, Tekken's dropped. I tell nobody, Tekken dropping. Don't get it twisted. Tekken go get its numbers, but you know what I'm saying. And listen, there's other games that's coming out in January too. But I mean, for PlayStation fans, Final Fantasy Rebirth is that game, right? So I'm watching heavy, and I don't care about the sales like that. I really don't. I don't. But when you look at these trends where things are going down, I cannot agree with this man saying that under Jim Ryan's watch has been a rousing success. The only thing, listen, he's rode off the coattails of Yoshida and off of Sean Layden. That's my opinion on it. And I've been said that the man is in trouble if this ABK deal doesn't go through. There's people that don't want to tell them, that don't want to agree with me. They say, oh, I'm crazy. Oh, no, he just retired. Bruh. That man went out there like his hair was on fire to try to get this deal to be stopped. His superiors told his ass, you better get to it. You better get with it. You better do what you have to do, or there might be consequences. Well, look like those consequences has happened. You do not, I don't care what any of you guys, he's retired, he's been here for 30 years. You don't sit there and just get into the game. Well, he's been there since what, 2019? Come in, jump out and make all these crazy decisions, and then don't try to see them through. We don't even know what these games, we don't even know. From what I'm seeing from so far from their games as a service, that slate don't look too hot. Nobody knows what's going to happen with factions. Like they had the Naughty Dog day or whatever, or The Last of Us 2 day or something like that yesterday or whatever. People were anticipating to hear something about factions. Nothing. And it had to be in bad shape for Bungie to come in there and say, nah, man, scrap this. Nah, bro. No. Ooh. Scrap this. Start all over. Matter of fact, let me talk to who's ever in charge. Yeah, bro. Let us take over. Let us help these people help make this game right. That thing must have been bad. Because that game was supposed to be coming out, what, like a year or two ago? And we don't hear nothing. Oh shit! Damn, Cypher, you're disrespectful. He said Starfield has more factions than The Last of Us. Come on, man, stop that! Don't do that. Don't be nasty. You know what I'm saying? It's Dolan Knight says, as long as my preferred platform keeps giving me games, that's all I care about. Now, listen, that's another thing. Like, I mean, look at the offerings that PlayStation was offering this year. Come on, man. Listen. Baldur's Gate, they tried to claim it, they didn't even support it. That game ain't sold worth nothing on PlayStation. Tragic. Final Fantasy 16, again, it did, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going back to the past. I'm only just going off what these PlayStation stands has told me and told us, told everyone. 3 million sold is garbage. Because, I mean, 2 to 3 million sold is garbage. It's not, no, it's got to be 8 or more. Oh, word? Okay. Because I remember they were saying that about Rise Son of Rome that was sold over 2 million. Quantum Break that sold over 2 million. It was almost close to 3 million at that time when they were launching. Or a year or so within that time or whatever, within that year. Other games that came out, like, oh no, or if they hit 1 million or whatever, then oh no. They were out there with their pinky up, like this, like they're like, no. Did you not see the numbers of from Bloodborne? Did you not see those numbers? They were all high and mighty with the PlayStation 4, right? With those numbers, with those game sale numbers. Now they're celebrating 3 million. Listen, I've been around to know y'all thought 3 million was trash. The only time that they didn't think it was Persona. Persona, they really did, because once it hit 1 million, people were like, oh my God, yeah! And then I made my video talking about, that's cool. I'm very happy for a Persona, but it's a niche. And then, you know, because these stands didn't know what the word niche meant, or niche, however you want to pronounce it, that they wanted to lose their damn mind and yo, look at this thing, whatever. And now they're using the word on certain games. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so they gave grace to that. They gave grace to that game, right? But Final Fantasy is supposed to be hitting 8 to 10 easy. It's not, because they're asking for too much money. That at $70 is just, I mean, look, I know it's only $10 extra if you think about it, but no, it's more than that to other people. And as many games as came out for people that would want to take a chance with Star Wars or Hogwarts or or anything else that maybe PlayStation has to offer, on top of when you got your regular 2 or 3 games that you buy every year, you're asking too much, man. You asking too much. That's why games as a service is what it is. It is the perfect solution to not only get a chance to get to play those games, but to also support the brand. And Sony is falling completely out of favor of that. And their community, I should say their content place, the PlayStation content community, just fell right into the trap, and is demanding PlayStation gamers to force themselves to spend more money if the product isn't even worth their time. Then what? You just eat that? Come on, man. Come on. Like, okay, like for instance, Payday 3. I haven't heard really too many good things about Payday. But you know what saves that? It's because people play it on Game Pass. If the game is not up to par, right? Like I got the Dragon Quest game, the Quest of the whatever, the Quest to Die or whatever it's called. I picked it up. That's not in Game Pass. But the ratings, which even though I don't care about the ratings, but the game is getting butchered 4s out of 10s. It's boring. It's this. It's that. It's whatever. Well, I'll find that out, right? But I ate that $60. Well, no, I'm lying. I paid 45 because I used my Microsoft points. But still, I chewed up $45, and that type of stuff right there. Gamers ain't trying to do that shit no more. They're not. Put that shit on a game service. Let me see if that's dope, and then I'll buy it. That's gamers. That's what smart gamers do. Like, let me go ahead and see. Don't get this twisted either. Hell no, I'm not looking to guy no PlayStation 5 now, man. It is, you know what I'm saying? I will consider the Pro. We'll see what the Pro can offer, man. We'll see what the Pro can offer. But now Horizon, because I've been jonesing for my Horizon. I do like Horizon. I do like the Horizon game, so I've been fiending for it. You know what I'm saying? Ragnarok, I'm not so much. I mean, I got it. I got it on my PlayStation, on my PlayStation 4. But you know, and I played a little bit of it. But you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you play God of War, you know, because I played God of War and beat it on PlayStation 4, but when I got God of War on PC, so I'm like, well, maybe we'll just wait for God of War to come to the PC. I don't know. But anyway, but y'all, no, I'm ready for Gran Turismo 7 to come. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to go because I can't play it on the 4. I just can't. I can't. And you're saying we'll get a PlayStation 5, but why? When I have something that's right there comparable. And then, of course, you hear the same stuff all over. Well, why you got to buy Xbox games? But you know what Xbox does? It's smart as hell. Play anywhere. Play anywhere. So I can jump back and forth. I can play my games on Xbox. I can play my games on PC. Sony, got to get to it. Get you a app store, do a play anywhere situation. I'll be all for it. I'll pay $70 for something like that because I feel that that's worth it. But Sony is not giving anything that's worth it. And again, this is under this man's tenure, and you're saying that it's a rousing success. Bullshit. Let me go ahead and show something else here. Bullshit. I call that bullshit. That's not a rousing success, brother. It's not. Okay, so let's go here, right here, and I do believe that this man is absolutely correct on this, right? Let's get to it, right? So this is why this has been such a bad year for Sony, man. Like, look, but the detractors when I tell you, from Dustin, he says this is all super weird. Sony telling game heads to destroy their inventory. Now I posted this yesterday morning, before I moved around, and you know the what I got. Like, Nick and them was tripping like, oh, you doesn't, nobody cares, nobody does. What are you talking about, bro? Are you serious? People paid money for these statues, pre-ordered these statues, and then Sony all of a sudden says, nah, we ain't dealing with, and they dealt with this company for over 10 years, and then they just sit there and say, no, we're cutting off the supply, you destroy everything, and don't send anything out. When people already paid their royalties to this company to get these statues. What the bro? And then what? You know what I'm saying? I need to go find that. I am going to go find that, and I'm going to read through what Nick and them was saying. Like I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, I like the back and forth, like when I do it with J-Dub or with Thrash or with Nick every once in a while or somebody else. Like I don't mind, you know, the back and forth sometimes because it's funny to me. But I was like, brother, chill. There's no way that you're going to be up Sony's ass that much to say customers should get hosed over for the sake of PlayStation. Bruh, stop this. But anyway, he says Jim Ryan retiring, Sony getting hacked. This has all happened this week. If this was Xbox, what do you think what do you think things would be said? I think, would it be another civil war, as people would say? Bruh. Bunty, with the super chat, appreciate it, man. The super chat works in this place, man. Let's go ahead. Let's show the support. Really do appreciate it. And listen, hey, if you're not a member, become a member. Really do appreciate it. I'm finna add some more emojis into the in there. So want to be a member, want to show the support that way, that would be great. I do appreciate the people that are members as well. Matter of fact, I'm finna shout them out on GRG coming up Friday. I did have a little thing that popped up and showed their names, but it messed up. So now I'm got to try to redo it again. Ugh, anyway, computers. Anyway, but yeah, no, he said King was right. They're not going to be a PlayStation 6. Now, I still think that there will be a PlayStation 6. But I do agree, and me and King has been on this same wavelength even before I heard what King said, what King David said about PlayStation. But PlayStation's about to be out of here. Not in the sense of like they're gone, that they're going to go away, like the dodo. But the way that we known PlayStation, nah. It's they're on the way of doing something different unless an Apple or something like that jumps and gets involved. I do agree with that. I do agree that PlayStation is it's going to be very hard to see if there's a PlayStation 7. Put it that way. I think that King is a generation off. I do believe that. I do believe PlayStation is going to be something else than what people have known and loved about PlayStation. I really do. I think the console situation is, I mean, because think about it right now, right? The market for these high-end PCs and these high-end cards and stuff like that. Think about how many years it's going to take for like a 40 series card to get to where people can afford them or you know, find them reasonable. A 4080, 4090 is still in the thousands of dollars. It's still like $1,200 to $1,600, and in some cases they're still upwards of $2,000. If you think consoles is going to get to that level of that level of you know, on that level of power, just think about how much you're going to be paying for those consoles. You're going to pay. You want this power. You want all this technology. You want all this. 108 Dragons. We said this. We've said this for a minute. If you want all this stuff, you're going to have to pay for it. Now, I do not condone the $70 game stuff. I don't. I just don't. Like I said, I usually skip the $70 price point. I use my rewards points to get to buy a game at the proper price I feel is right for it. You know what I'm saying? If it's a game that I know that it's going to be dope, I'll pay the $60. If not, then I'll go ahead and I'll get it for like 40, 30. Sometimes if I got enough points, I'll get it for 20, whatever the case may be, right? Or just get it for free, right? The other factor is that when you don't, you know, if you're looking at this and you're thinking like, well, you making all these decisions on what games you want, like just think how crazy this year has been alone. I think 2024 is going to be just as crazy. Services is definitely the way to go. And Sony keeps on trying to say, and let's just say that PlayStation fans are correct. Let's say the PlayStation content creators out there are correct in saying that Sony's going to have a massive 2024. You think all the PlayStation community, I mean, the PlayStation gamers out there are going to buy every last one of those games? No, they're not. Because you still got to put in the equation the big three. You got to put in the equation the big three. And those people are paying upwards of 100 to NBA 2K. Some people are paying $150 to $100, right? You know what I'm saying? Then you got 70. Call of Duty, you're paying upwards of $100, 70. Madden, you're paying upwards of $80. I think it's 80. I don't know if Madden has a $100 version anymore. I think it's 80, but regardless, $80, $70. Bruh, then you're talking about, okay, Stellar Blade, her thickness in yams. Yes. I can't wait to play it on PC. But that game's gonna be $70, I'm sure. Right? Okay. That game might get some traction. It's not gonna sell like that, but it's gonna get some traction. The Lost Souls, I think it's the Lost Soul Aside, I think that's how you say it. Or Soul Aside. That's gonna drop. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. That game looks amazing. That's a day one. That's a day one. And I think that is coming on PC day one. If not, I might look at a PlayStation 5 at that point, but I don't know. I say it. I say it because the gamer in me wants a PlayStation 5 just for the reason because I've always had a PlayStation. And knowing me, I will probably eventually get a PlayStation 5 just because I've always owned a PlayStation. But I don't see the value in it. And that's what's keeping me from getting it. I don't see the value in it. That's why I can wait. But anyway, but a solar side, that's going to be a cool game that's going to be shown off that has a lot of dopeness. But I mean, that's really dope. But is that going to be a console seller? No. So what else is PlayStation's going to have down the line? I mean, what Foam Stars? I know some more. I know a first party game will be coming out. I mean, I don't know what first party it will be, and then there'll be another games as a service or a couple of them that will drop. So I mean, PlayStation will have more games than what they had this year, but I don't know. I don't know. So Fahim, you saying I'm wrong? All right, we'll see. We'll see. You got to prove it to me because Wolverine ain't walking through that door next year. You know what I'm saying? God of War ain't walking through that door next year. What are you gonna do? Another Uncharted remake? Now, could a Ghost of Tsushima come out next year? No, they would have already announced that. That'd be impressive. I think we're due for a Ghost of Tsushima. There's that one game from PlayStation 2 that they have third party. I forget. It was it's a samurai game. Forget the name of that. That's coming out next year for PlayStation. So, like I said, they're gonna have a better lineup, and then there'll be some surprises, I'm sure. But come on, man, people ain't gonna be spending that money like that. They're just not. They're just not. If you think her thickness in yams, Stellar Blade is going to be a console seller, like they're gonna put her thick ass on that box and think that that's gonna push units, you're crazy. You're crazy, and you would be wrong. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then while Xbox is over here throwing all this out here at you with Avowed and Stalker 2 and Hellblade 2 and potentially we could have another Gears or something or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying, whatever the hell else is going to be coming out from Xbox. You know what the benefit is to that is because of Game Pass. And let's not forget after this ABK deal, all them Call of Duty's gonna start dropping, bro. Game Pass is a nightmare to Sony. Nightmare. And Sony's going to have to make a different decision. And this is why, with this whole Jim Ryan situation, this all happened under Jim Ryan's watch. And this happened in a week. And you telling me that Jim Ryan just decided, man, I just listen, man. Yeah, we left on top. I'm good. I'm good. Good. We out of here. We out. We good. PlayStation good. Nah, bro. He's out of there because his ass didn't do what he was supposed to do by stopping that deal. And for everything else that you see in here. Are you kidding me? Hacked? People hacked again? And then for what else? I'm gonna try to show right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It's right here. They just shut him down. You know what? I am going to find it. Hold on. I'm going to find that comment. I'm going to find that. I'm going to find it right damn now. Hold on. I'm going to find it and let you read this craziness. Let's see. Let me find this. Hold on. Oh no, hold on. Okay, right here. It's right here. Now, this is what's crazy, right? Because the stands took this, is what I said, because, okay, this is what was said, right? It said Sony PlayStation's old tagline that they are for the players, but giving their recent decisions that they know adversely affects those in the collecting community willing to spend more on Sony PlayStation merchandise than an actual console. We are now not so sure. Now, listen, this is not my quote. And it stands, they pointed that out. Now how is it? And the one thing that they got pissed off about was because this, you know what I'm saying, these people here said that you know, he says collecting community willing to spend more on Sony PlayStation merchandise than an actual console. They would know, right? But people got mad at me and said that I made that tweet up. Hold on, let me go right here to it, right here. Boom. Okay. Maybe I need to open this up a little bit more for y'all. Okay, so and then I'm going straight to the quote where it said it right here. Where'd it go? Where did it go? I think it's right here. And this is I took the taglines right from there and just posted because I was like, yo, they tripping. And it's right here. See, the same tagline from what this is what they said, not what I said. And then this is what, and then this is also what's crazy too is that they said you know, the people were pissed off at them, right? Like they were pissed off at the company. They were saying, look, we we want our money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to get this fixed. So they're mad at the company, rightfully so. But the company's like, look, Sony took our money, took your money. And since we've worked with them for so many years, we just give them those royalties and expect our product to come later. But they just took your money, kept it, and then told us to to destroy all of your products. Bro, were you kidding me? See, look at this. He says, unfortunately, the community is being hurt by Sony, and it is or was avoidable. Did not need to happen. This is Sony's decision, not ours. If you are affected by Sony's decision, please contact Sony. Like, they got no choice. Their hands are tied. You know what I'm saying? Their hands are tied. You know what I'm saying? This person's like, this is awful on Sony's part, but refunds are game head's responsibility. A non-refundable deposit is okay, but the rest must be returned. And that's when he's saying, like, our hands are tied. Like, we're expecting to get this product to get to you. We're kind of like a third entry, and then he's like, so this person says, Sony has the power to make it right with you. I've never had any business with Sony. All my purchase agreements are with you. Sony makes it right with you. You make it right with the customer. Sony isn't going to refund anything to me. I personally never sent them any money. All my receipts are from you, which is false because they have to go through Sony in order for them to have that product delivered to you. But again, this customer's pissed off because they haven't got their product and they lost money. So I get that, right? Like, you know, you can't talk to Sony. So, and if you can't talk to Sony, do you have to be one of those plus members in order to you to actually talk to Sony? Because if you were just a regular member, you can't talk to them. You're not allowed to talk to them. Anyway, that's crazy. And so this person says, yes, we understand that we share your frustration. Yes, Sony needs to make it right, and we hope they do. This is why we are asking all community members affected by Sony's decision to contact Sony. And so somebody just laughed. But see, that ain't shit. That ain't funny. Like, they're like, look, we're doing everything that we possibly can. What else? But anyway, I digress. I'm going to this point right here, right? When I posted this, and I want to get what Nick said. Like, this was wild to me. Right here. See, right here. And I need to go ahead and shrink this again. All right, look at this. Chief, ain't nobody giving a shit. And like I said, like, you're spoken like a true stand. Like, bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then here he goes. And he's telling me I'm speaking like a true bot, right? He says, he said this story, he said of the day and blowing it up. as if this issue shook the core of the gaming industry. And I'm just saying, not at all. If you read the article, the quote I posted is from the company. I just posted what they said. You clearly were here to defend Sony when Sony shouldn't be defended. He's like, I'm not defending shit. I'm just telling you, only you and 4 other cats see this and care enough for the fake outrage. And then that's when I just had to say, yo, bro, what? And I'm like, fake outrage, people losing money and products they have been waiting for their statues is a nothing burger to you. Just read the article. You can't be that hard up of Sony's ass to keep defending this brother. You know, come on, Nick. Like that right there just blew my mind. Like fake outrage for customers, because that's what you are. You are, Nick, you're a customer. All the PlayStation dudes that was mad at me about some stupid shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and see, look, I don't even mute these people. Like, they'll mute itself or whatever. But look at this. Look, I'm getting called a big dummy because, look, this dude sit here is like, imagine a $550 console selling 40 million units, double what his favorite console sold, probably more than 10 times the amount that's merchandise sales, and lying to yourself saying people spend more money on merchandise than consoles. Okay, Mega, you big dummy. And again, I didn't write the quote, but I told him that. I did tell him that, Oscar. You know what I'm saying? And listen, and here we go again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's scummy, but it's not like you even care. You're only writing this to push your agenda. Nobody needs your fake ass concern, dumb Xbox zealots pretending that they're the holy grail of the gaming community. And I'm just like, relax. Bro, relax. Just chill the hell out. Stop defending this trash. But you know what I'm saying? So Fahim, it's not their problem. Hold on, let me go ahead and get back to where I was. It's not Sony's problem. It's the company's problem for them to rely on them to get the product. But then Sony told them, Sony should we give that money back that they took if they were going to change abruptly like that. Oh, Brian, yeah, bro. He says, "Hey, how the hell you got hate out of that?" Okay, Mega, you put it out there so you knew people would respond to it. Yeah, I want people to respond to it. I want to respond to it because it's a bullshit deal. Hold on, let me get to my point. Yeah, I do want people to respond to it. Yeah, because that is news, man. That is serious. That needs to be talked about. Like, you mean to tell me that that doesn't need to be talked about? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Like that's where we're at now. That's where we're at. We you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna say, well, your response of people coming out there and sending you this hate, or you know this you know what I'm saying, coming at you after that. Customers are getting screwed over. Doesn't matter what company it is, right? A customer, you're a customer. I'm a customer. They're getting screwed over. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting called a dummy because I'm sitting here using a quote from them because that they've been working with this company for over 10 years. But again, this is under Jim Ryan's tenure, right? Who cares, right? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a nothing burger to them. It's a nothing burger. It's not them. But wait until if they're one of those asses that get hacked. We'll see if they care then. It is what it is. I don't know, man. But personally, where will PlayStation be going? You know, my last point to this: where's PlayStation going to go? Looking for? I have no clue. I personally feel um, like King David and others, is that PlayStation is going to be looking fundamentally different than what people have seen them. I think that, I still think that there'll be a PlayStation 6, but I will say then at that point, I don't think that there'll be a PlayStation 7. I think that the PlayStation 7 will be something else, an app. And you know what I'm saying? I think that's just kind of like where the future might go. Because, I mean, you're looking at another, what? Ooh, let's see. 2028 is going to be 2028. We're looking at between 2028 2030 for the next consoles. After that, we're looking at what, 2020, I mean 2037, 2038. Who knows what's going on by that time? Right? Like we, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely see that PlayStation could be different, massively different. Xbox could be different. You know what I'm saying? It might be at the point in time, because I mean, look, we're talking about, but we're looking at 3038. I'm gonna be 60 almost. So almost 60. Shit, I don't know what I'm damn sure ain't gonna be podcasting. I damn sure ain't gonna be doing streams at no 60 years old. I'm gonna be doing something else. I'll be traveling, Jack. You know what I'm saying? If I'm still here, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? Can't be live on a beach somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Drinking, enjoying my life. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know what I'm saying? And listen. So at 3038, yeah, no, I don't know. And who's ever going to take over for? I think I've seen some people post pictures of people. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't think they don't have a successor yet. If they do, please let me know in the chat. But they got a lot of shit to clean up. And first things first is that they're going to have to really go all in and really do something about their service. Their not so much about the games as a service, but but their service. They got to do some kind of. They got to do better with the PlayStation service that they got. Now PSN Plus is a good service. They do drop some dope games, some really good games. But you're asking for more money and you're not offering what the competition is offering, and that's not going to cut it. That's why they're not going to. That's why they don't want to reveal those numbers anymore. Because people aren't buying it. Like people are like, look, man, if you ain't giving us the Game Pass model, then we don't want it. We'll still pay for PSN because we want to keep our cloud saves, and y'all offer some really good games monthly. But other than that, like going to those higher tiers, no, they're going to have to scrap that, redo that, do something, and then they're going to have to put games on PC day and date, or have them drop within their first 90 days. The more and more that we look at this, the more and more we see this is becoming more of a reality than what some PlayStation stands wants to believe. This is happening. This is going to happen. That's a certainty. PlayStation games will start coming on PlayStation, if not day and date, but within I will say at the max 6 months. That's 2-3 year shit. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That idea was stupid in the first place. Watch Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Forbidden West. It'll be in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be one of those people that'll get it. Can't wait to play it. But then it's gonna fall off like a rock. And then you wait until if people want to bargain, want to just wait, that shit gonna be probably around $15, around $15-$20 before the end of the year starts. Promise you that. So it is what it is. Yeah, man, it's done. What you mean? You said, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a gamer for life, bro. What are you talking about? For him, I'm gonna be a gamer for life. I'll be gaming for till the day that I die. Hell, I might. That's how I might go out. If it's not my hand on some ass, it might be my hand on a controller. And somebody just come in here and see my ass playing some greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's either how I'm going out with my hand on some ass. You know what I'm saying? On you know what I'm saying, or on a controller. That's probably how I'm going out. But I definitely am going to be vacationing. So and until I have some grandkids, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna take the little bastards to Rams games, to Thunders games, to you know what I'm saying, get them out there, take them out in the wild, let them know how to hunt, do some things, man. You know what I'm saying? Take them out there to the land. You know what I'm saying? Out there to our family land. Let them get out there, start learning how to hunt like I had to, and all that other stuff, man. It'd be good. But yeah, no, podcasts and all that stuff. Psh, yeah, GRG will be long gone by that time. By the time we get to PlayStation 7 or Xbox, whatever the hell, 900, long gone, long gone, Jack. Ain't doing it like that. I love doing my podcasting, but man, got to do my thing, man. So anyway, but no, I think the future for PlayStation is ugh. They got a lot of decisions to make, and just for whoever's going to take over, they got to clean up a lot of stuff. Even if they want to go revert back to what PlayStation is and see if that model works, but I don't think it does. I think that model is dead and gone, and I think that the higher ups at Sony knows that. Matter of fact, Kojima said something said something today that was pretty evident. I think it was a shot. It wasn't a shot at Sony, but I think it was a point at Sony, right? It's like you pretty much got to innovate in order to stay up on the ladder. You gotta see what the technology can offer you in order for you to stay and maintain. Sony's mindset about, because they're the market leader and they do this and they do that, what they did is that they forced Microsoft to make a decision. Either let Xbox go or let's go all in. Phil Spencer definitely had something to do with that, him and that team. And now Sony is in this position of where we're looking at where their fan base is crying, saying that there's a monopoly. No. PlayStation's been playing that monopoly game by keeping shit off, getting away with it low key. And Microsoft is tired of it. Like, Xbox is tired of it. So they're seeing a raft that they're seeing something that they've never had to deal with before. Because Sony at the time when they first came through, they were the ones that were the big spender, the big corporation, that big, came in there, started doing all this and started locking games away and then started acquiring studios. Organic growth is it's called today from people. But it's happening to them. How will they handle it? They got money. They ain't got Microsoft money. They can go after a 2K or a EA or a Ubisoft. They could definitely they got them, but do they have the faith in themselves in order to risk it all? Because that's a risk. You get a Ubisoft or you get a Take-Two, you would see that it would definitely work for itself because of the games that is on there. But the reality is that they can only lock down one game in order to drop that revenue. Now, that would be Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, that is a big game to lock down, and that would definitely make some leeway. But we got to remember that Sony is more than just PlayStation. They got the movies, they got all that. They could do movies. I mean, they could make movies out of Grand Theft Auto. They could do stuff with it. NBA 2K would still be definitely, but now NBA 2K will never be on Game Pass again, which would be smart strategy from them. And they would have some nice IPs to have and to lock. You know what I'm saying? Take-Two would be a great grab for them, but they would have to risk it all to do it. And we also got to look at the climate here. I know that people over here, we don't like Linda Khan and shit like that, but you know what? You think that these American companies is going to sit there and you think that the American, not companies, but the Americans would go ahead and sell a Take-Two or EA, which I think EA is too big for them, or let's just say a Take-Two. Them regulators is going to be on Sony's ass too. And don't think that Phil ain't going to sit there and give him that same energy by going and making that trip. going to talk to some of them congressmen, you know what I'm saying? Maybe going out here and talking to some of them congressmen out there and say, yo, let's go. Or having Sadia going out there doing the same thing Jim Ryan did. And say, hey, man, this might be a threat to American interests. Bro, hey, business is business. It's shrewd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Sony is evil. What do you, they're over there discussing stuff. They're over here being messy much with each other. But I'm just saying, Sony has to do something. So they're going to acquire. I don't know who they're going to acquire. I don't think it's, they could still get Square Enix, but like I said, I think everything is hedging its bet on Rebirth. After that, I don't know what's going to happen with Square Enix, because if Rebirth doesn't do better than Remake, because it should do better than Remake, than Final Fantasy Remake, I don't know what that's going to be. Oof. So PlayStation community, y'all better get y'all's ass out there and start showing us support, or demands for them to do something in the sense of doing making a Game Pass. We all know that Final Fantasy 16 would have thrived if it had a Game Pass on PlayStation. I think Forspoken would have gotten a lot more love if it had a Game Pass fame, because like I've said, I really enjoyed Forspoken. I thought Forspoken was to me, from if I had to review it, a 78 to an 80. The slow start and the way that the game was really buggy. It took me. I had to wait a couple of months before they really got everything tuned up. But then once they did, the story started falling together. I think the story was pretty damn good. I thought that the best thing of it was the combat. The combat is some of the best combat in any game, in my opinion. It's really good. The combat is great. The traversal stuff and all that. I thought that was wonderful stuff. I mean, I hated the character at first, and then the character grew on me going forward. But that's just part of just playing the game and just seeing what it's about. But I thought Forspoken would thrive. So hopefully, when that 2-year exclusivity is done, both games could get the Game Pass treatment and maybe get the love that they deserve. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see. But this new CEO is going to have their work cut out for them, because there's a lot of shit going on with PlayStation. In 2024, doesn't look like it's going to save them. It doesn't. So, this ABK deal goes through, which it looks like it will. Xbox has got a pathway now. They got it. We see that they have a path. Everything is going. Competition is really, really, really there. It's there now. And can PlayStation handle it? We'll see. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys coming through. We'll be doing tonight on the next podcast. I know we're going to be talking about all this. So if you guys want to come through, hear this. I know I wouldn't be able to say everything that I wanted to say. Oh, we have a 3-hour podcast. So I just wanted to get it all out the way now. I'm going to get ready to take myself to the gym, go do my thing. Man, appreciate you guys coming through, man. Appreciate the super chat. And check out the GRG podcast Friday night. We will be definitely talking about this. Can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. And keep it moving, man. I really do appreciate it. So everybody, take it easy. We out. Peace.